your gut telling you, Kyle?
We got bulls right here.
That's what I'm saying. If we got bulls, we might as well go.
We might as well try it.
Yeah. We're simple people.
Simple people, simple problems.
We're here to hunt bulls.
Yeah.
If we hear bulls, then we go get bulls. No sense in looking for other bulls.
Can you see the sunrise going through the trees? It's glowing through the tall pines and it's shining down on me. I don't know if you know exactly what this means, but can you hear the birds sing? Can you hear the birds sing? Following the trail of breadcrumbs and they're getting nowhere fast. But I can see the mountains as long as my sight lasts. But I don't need to see them, their voices are so clear. Can you hear the mountains whispering in my ear? Well, I can hear the mountains calling me. I can hear the mountains calling me. I can hear the mountains calling me. I can hear the mountains calling me, calling me, calling me, yeah. Well, I've been walking for miles and I'll never stop until I reach the mountain and I climb up on the top and I scream, Jesus, you come and take me home. And just like clapping, sweet chariots swing low. Well, I can hear the mountains calling me. I can hear the mountains calling me. Well, I can hear the mountains calling me. I can hear the mountains calling me, calling me, calling me, yeah.
What's the word of the day here? Opportunity? That's my word of the day.
Up, down. Can I do two? Can I do two?
Yeah. What do you got, bud?
Dead up.
Nice. You gotta go with two now, huh?
Yeah, we
You got
gotta go
another
two.
one now.
Do I need to go with three? Opportunity of lifetime?
Sometimes those opportunities are a direct result of countless hours behind the wheel, sifting through thousands of trail camera photos, or in Anthony's case, getting a call the night before the hunt saying that they had a tag that somebody turned in through their point guard process. On our first morning, we dove off into the canyon just outside of camp, chasing after the bugles that had kept us up the night before. Unfortunately for us, all we could do is play the chasing game, as we were already out of position. In the end, hearing the echoing bugles throughout the canyon was a good sign that not only were the elk talking, but we were going to have a great hunt. After a quick lunch, we headed out to an area that we had prospected the night before the hunt had started, in hopes that we could find the bugling bulls that we'd heard before. All it took was a simple contact bugle from Tim, and sure enough, off in the distance we could hear a bull. We had to close the distance quietly and quickly, but we knew that we had our shot. Once we felt like we were in range, we quickly got set up. Given how close that bugle was and how loud it was for us, it was almost as if time had slowed down at that point. And in that time, I had flashes of all the experiences that we had had out in the woods chasing elk, from the good ones to the bad ones. Two vivid memories stood out of encounters that we had the year prior on my own elk hunt. The first one didn't start off too much different than Kyle's did. A midday prospect with some bugles out in the distance, sneaking through the downed timber to get closer. It wasn't until another hunter spooked up the cows that the bull got up from his bed to round them back up. But unfortunately for us, we were caught out in the open and we were clearly out of position. This old 6x6 had plenty of cows with him, and he was displaying some aggressive tendencies, so we decided to fight aggressiveness with aggressiveness. The next few minutes is how it all played out. After the bull left raking that tree, we thought that the aggressiveness had paid off, and for sure this bull was finally going to come in. Unfortunately for us, the bull hung up at about 100 yards, as he could clearly see downhill and not quite make out where the other bull was. In awe that he was still there, we forgot to pay attention to what our goal was, and that was to kill this bull. We sat there for over 15 minutes watching him rake apart a tree, while I could have easily snuck in a lot sooner to put an arrow in him. I tried to get as close as I could, but unfortunately, at about 70 yards, he finally tore the tree clear out of the ground and went back to his cows. The following evening hunt was one hunt that I will never forget. We had chased bulls all morning, well into the afternoon, hiked up and down the sides of the canyon more times than we cared to admit. About ready to call it a day and head home, Tim got out and prospected one last time. Sure enough, heard some bugles, so we geared up to go after him. leading up to the shot, everything was perfect. I drew when I needed to. My breathing was under control. And it was almost as if when he spooked, I spooked, and everything came crashing down. It's a shot that I'll always remember, and a situation that just goes to show that in that moment, it's pure chaos. So you better be ready. And at that time, on my first elk hunt, I wasn't. Flash forward back to Kyle and Anthony's hunt that afternoon with the bull that close and the bugles that loud. All I could hope for was that one of these guys was going to be able to put an arrow in him.
Did I get him? I was like, fuck it. Dude, he didn't look that big. That's all you gotta do, dude. He was fucking walking and I put it on my... Dude, the arrow was hanging out of his... Yeah. The arrow was hanging out of his rear. Yeah.
But then he trotted off, and then when he got to the top of the hill there, he was looking pretty sick.
Okay.
When I was standing and he turned, there was probably only that much of your arrow still in him, dude. It was.
Oh, it went through.
Dude,
Oh,
it was
yeah,
out.
there was this much out the bar.
Yeah, there wasn't much left.
But it's just a matter of where it went through.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm worried about.
And he's so covered in mud, you're not gonna get a lot of blood at first.
He was filthy.
Dude, he had so much
Oh, dude.
coming down, and I'm like,
But he hit the sunlight over there. He hit that sunlight. I was like, that dude is nasty.
he's jacked up.
The best was when I first saw him coming down the hill.
Monster by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a nice 6-point bull.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, when he was coming down the hill, he was bugling.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, oh fuck, he's coming. He's
Yeah.
coming.
Good job, buddy.
Oh, dude. No, thanks for the cow call.
The
I was like,
lifesaver.
yes. That was like the
You get out jail free
lifesaver.
card?
Huh?
You get out jail free card the cow
Dude,
got?
Oh, dude, I was like, thanks, Tim.
That was intense, man.
That's as good of a calling as you can have. That's almost the same thing that happened with my dad.
Dude, this is some good bulls in here.
Once he popped off over there, I was like, yeah. We cut the distance perfectly. Yeah. In that middle, I mean, I'm glad I blew that cow call when I did. I wasn't going to. I was going to wait for him to bugle again, but I was like, you know what? We're getting close.
Yeah.
If he's already bugling on his own, he's looking for cows.
Oh, yeah, he wanted a cow.
Yeah, I told him, that's for Chris Rowe, right there.
Yeah.
Here you go, buddy.
There you go, buddy.
Little assembly mew in your lap.
I was so pissed. He came in so close. He just fills the frame, and I was like, this as far zoomed out as I possibly could be. I was like, don't come any closer.
You can't come any closer, sir.
Thank you for that, because if he had come closer,
I was like, can you come
I would have caught an antler, dude. Dude,
I'm surprised he didn't blitz this right here. I'm surprised he
I
went
was
that.
sitting right behind this.
When he jumped, dude, it was like
No, you shot him
almost
right
like
there.
slow motion, dude. The dirt
Oh, yeah.
just flew, dude.
Do that right there.
And then he cut through those trees, dude. And I just see him, breaking the tree.
Oh, yeah. He hit something pretty hard because it almost stopped him.
Right there, that hole he went through. It's pretty low.
This is where he was standing.
Where were you standing, Kyle?
I was over here. You should
Yeah, he was right here.
see the trees I had to go through, though. That's why I was worried about hitting those branches. I was worried about seeing the branches.
Oh yeah.
And so, like
I said, dude,
somehow I went through that tree.
I think you were right there, dude.
No, I was out in front.
I think you were on that black tree right there.
I was the black
bigger
tree.
One. Yep.
Yeah.
I think you were right there.
You're right. I went to the tree. I moved because I went to the tree. 26.
Yeah. Because I mean, dude,
And I
he just
tried to
freaking
put
just jumped. And
I tried to put it on. I did try to put it on 30.
Look, he shit himself on the way out.
Did he?
Where's that? A good shot? I don't know. I don't think so.
After searching for blood well into the late hours of the night, we went back to camp to refresh and come back first thing in the morning to give this bull the attention that it deserved. Throughout the day, we performed multiple grid pattern searches in every direction from the last blood that we'd found. And even on the way back from one of those searches, 2 bulls walked right past our truck, right past us. So we tried to have a little bit of fun with them in hopes to lighten the mood. After tracking the blood nearly 3/4 of a mile from where Kyle had shot the bull, we were unable to find more blood or signs of where the bull may have gone. We were forced to come to the realization that these are tough animals, and this bull was no different. After reviewing the footage of Kyle's shot entering perfectly on the left side, we couldn't believe that the bull was able to make it this far. We headed back to camp that night with heavy heads and heavy hearts, and we hoped that we'd be able to at least find him the next day. Given that the weather was so warm, we knew at this point that the meat had already gone bad. And sure enough, thanks to the buzzards high above, we were able to find the bull much farther than any of us could imagine. In the end, this is one of the worst parts about hunting elk with the bow and arrow, and we were greatly relieved to know that the bull wasn't out there suffering. And through all the ups and downs, miles hiked, mistakes made, elk hunting is truly all about the experience.
Alright, so here we are. It's Wednesday morning. I'm here with my buddy Ryan. He might be a little teary-eyed. Ryan just called in a bull, 30 yards.
645.
645.
Came in on a string.
We just spoke to him.
Right in the chest. Quartering two.
Oh,
Right in the heart.
so he is about 75 yards from us right now. He came into 30. He fell at 45.
He's right there. We're looking
Yeah,
at him.
there he is. We're gonna go get him. Let's go get him.
As you can see in this photo right here is the queso in his natural element. He's speaking to the bulls. As you can see, he's walking up right there. Queso, tell us what we just heard.
We're hearing bugles, so we're gonna send it. It's gonna be a good day.